I'm going to try and word this as sensitively as I possibly can. And it may upset some people, and I apologise in advance if it does. So I don't believe in God, but I do believe to a large extent in fate and fatalism. And if ever that was demonstrated, then surely yesterday was that demonstration. Air India Flight 171, absolute terrible tragedy, heartbreaking, horrific for everybody involved, both people on the plane, obviously, all of their relatives, but also the people that were killed on the ground. How sad is that as well? 241 people killed who were on the plane, more killed on the ground, and yet one man survived. How? The more you read about it, the more you see of his survival, the more absolutely brain-numbingly impossible to comprehend it is. So this fella, who's a British Indian guy from Leicester, I believe it was, sitting in seat 11A. The plane crashes into the buildings, the plane explodes, everyone else is killed, and yet his story is that he was sitting next to the exit. He sort of came to, looked around, saw the chaos, and left through the door and got out of the plane and then limped off down the road. There's video of him limping down the road with some injuries to his head and his leg and his foot, but not massively serious. How does that happen? How is that possible? How does one man out of 242 survive a catastrophe of those proportions and those dimensions? Is that fate? Is that God? Is it sheer blind luck? Surely that would make you think that when your time is up, your time is up, and when it's not up, it's not up. And that's a horrible concept for the other 241 people and their families. But how else do you explain it? Apparently, the story gets even crazier because, and I don't know whether this has been confirmed by him or not, but apparently he swapped seats with someone else because he wanted some legroom and wanted to be near the door. And so he swapped with someone, and presumably that person sadly has died. It just, the more you think about the whole concept of it, the more brain numbing it is, and the more sad it is. And if you are that man, how do you live with that? How do you cope with that? The poor sod lost his brother on the plane as well. And there is a thing called survivor guilt. Wow, imagine the survivor guilt he's going to have. 1 out of 241. Plus the others on the ground. Plus his own brother. Plus he allegedly swapped seats with someone else. How do you get your head around that for the rest of your life? How do you explain that for the rest of your life? As I say, terrible tragedy. Horrific for absolutely everybody involved. My heart goes out to everyone involved. An absolute miracle of sizable proportions that this man lived. But what's it going to do to him going forward? How's he going to feel going forward? And how does that happen? Just how does that happen? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. It's hard to keep track of all of the news that's coming out, so I may have missed something that's come out. You may have an update for me that I've not seen. If so, leave it in the comments. But let me know what you think.